Alright guys, so bought a new camera, but so hopefully these videos are gonna turn out a little bit better. But as you can see by the total mess in the garage, the intercooler came in, the 2.5-inch pipes for the turbo to the intercooler came in, and then the 3-inch pipes for the turbo to the intake came in. And I've already started, as you can see. So there's the turbos. I got the intercooler sit in here. It's not bolted in place or anything. It's just kind of sitting in there, and it's being held in place by it's resting in there, and then the pipes are holding it in place. I had to cut a bunch of the front out, and then down here I had to cut part of that cross member so that way the cold side from the intercooler to the throttle body can go in. And then so this pipe I already cut it down and welded it up. So this will go from the outlet down there up here, and then I'll connect it to the throttle body whenever the time comes. But the most recent thing I did was I just got this one all cut and welded up. It didn't turn out the best, but it didn't turn out too bad. So it goes there and then comes around over there. And about to start working on this side. This one with these turbos, so the outlet of this turbo is going to be closer to the radiator. So it's going to be a little bit different shape than this one. It might be a little bit easier. I might just be able to come straight in. I might just be able to use a 90. So connect a 90 to this and then kind of angle it down a little bit, and then have the coupler take up that little bit of slack, hopefully. But that's how it's going so far. And then I just gotta rearrange this coupler over here a little bit because it's a little tight. But I just thought I'd bring y'all an update. The grill does fit. I had the grill in it last night after I put the turbo in. I put the grill in just to mock everything up to make sure the grill wasn't hitting. And the grill is super close. I actually think the grill is touching like on the sides, but it'll be fine. Once I mount it in place, it's gonna get pushed back a little bit anyways. So I'm gonna bring y'all back whenever there's an update. But for right now, this is going extremely well. I bought black pipe for the intercooler to the throttle body, so I'm gonna have to repaint that little section right there, and then with the turbo to the intercooler, instead of keeping them shiny like that one, I'm just gonna have them brushed. So I just took some red Scotch-Brite pad to it and just did like a brushed finish, which in my opinion I like the brush finish better than I do. So I'll bring y'all back in a little bit. Alright guys, so it's been a few days since the last update, and I was just gonna make this into 2 videos, but I said screw it, I might as well just make it into 1. As you can see, there's been a lot of progress on the truck, but we're gonna start off where we left off. So basically, I got both charge pipes done for the intercooler. I just had to cut some holes and then run intercooler piping. Did some aluminum welding. They didn't turn out perfect, but they turned out good enough. Same way on this side over here. Ran them up to the turbos, and then the pipe that is exiting the intercooler right there is black, and then it's ran up to right there. And I'm gonna have to cut it down another inch, so it's gonna be brought in more towards the fan shroud by an inch, so that way it will clear the belt, and it's gonna be going around here, and the belt is gonna be going around the crank, and then I'm gonna have an idler pulley up here, alternator over here. So in the previous video, you'll notice that originally I had an angled spacer in between right behind the throttle body, and that was because whenever I first got this intake with the stock truck throttle body, it looked like it was going to be hitting the upper radiator hose. I didn't want to remake the upper radiator hose because it's stainless steel and a little bit of time went into it. So then I started looking at angled throttle body spacers, and they only come in 4-bolt patterns, so I had to buy a 4-bolt throttle body, which means I had to buy an adapter. So it went adapter, angled spacer, throttle body, but then that threw the throttle body way too close to this. And then whenever I bought the alternator bracket, So seeing how I'm running strictly alternator, water pump, crank, and then there's going to be an idler pulley over there just to make everything work. I had to buy the kit through ICT Billet, and to use that kit you need to use either an LS1 water pump with spacers or a LS3 water pump from a 2010 to 2015 Camaro, which this is neither one of those water pumps. It's just a truck water pump, and the main difference being that this upper radiator hose comes straight out on both of those. So that means I'm gonna have to remake this upper radiator hose either way, and I wish I would have bought that before I went through buying all this, because now I could save some money. But I'm gonna have to remake this anyways, so which is good because the charge pipe is gonna be a pain trying to come up here connected that with all this in the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out of here, and then I need like a little straight piece just to clamp onto, and then I'm just gonna make a 90, and I'm gonna angle it back, and I'm gonna come close to the radiator, and then I'm gonna angle it down, and then I'm gonna go straight into there. But I'm gonna go ahead and have the alternator on and the belt on whenever I do all that, so that way I know I'm not going to interfere with the belt with the radiator hose. So a little bit of a backwards, order of operations on this, I guess. So that's going to be that. That's already on order, should be coming in sometime soon. I need to go ahead and order the belt, but the main thing is, so I got the turbos in, obviously got the charge pipes done, and then I went ahead and I did the hot side. So basically the exhaust way down there, that is at the V-band clamps. So for the V-band clamps down, I already had from whenever I was running these fender well headers. So I didn't want to take that out just because I spent a lot of time on this exhaust down here, and as you can see it's full stainless steel, and I want this truck to be pretty friendly on the street, so I wanted full exhaust. So it's already there. I figured I might as well just run into it instead of running a just a little down pipe right out the fender like a lot of people do on turbos. So what I did was 3-inch pipe straight off the back of the turbo with this little flange. Bought the flange, bought all the pipe, and if you look, so coming straight out of the back of the turbo, you can see that the pipe is angled a little bit that way, just because it has to meet, the V-band clamp that was way down there for the exhaust. So what I did was I angled the pipe inside this flange a little bit, which it wasn't much. It was like a 1/16 to a 3/32 of an inch, but a 3/32 of an inch up here translates into a lot of angle, out here. So I did that, and then I just angled the 45 a little bit, shot it down, and to take up all the slack and stress of everything, I bought some stainless steel flex pipes, which the flex pipes aren't in the best of condition. I bought them off of eBay, so they're pretty cheap. So of course it's not going to focus very well, but the welds aren't bad. These are actually some of my best welds. So I did those, and as you can see, there's like that little pipe right there coming out the back of the back of this flex pipe. So that little pipe right there. So this pipe is all 3-inch OD. That's the way exhaust is usually measured. This flex pipe is 3-inch ID, so it'll just slide right over this, just that way, so it'll make it easier on people whenever they're installing this in the vehicle. They can just slide over, weld it on, clamp it on, whatever they gotta do. But originally I wanted to mount the flex pipe directly to the V-band flange, just that way I wouldn't have a little piece of pipe down here. So what I did, I just cut off a little piece of 2-inch pipe, and then slid 1 inch in there roughly, and then left the rest sticking out. Welded in, it's gonna be good. Welded that up there, and then up here. So I had these tags made up a long time ago, and it's just my last name and then fabrication, but went ahead and decided to throw them on there because I'm probably only going to heat wrap the headers, is what I'm thinking. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm thinking I'm just going to heat wrap the headers and then put a turbo blanket on the back housing, and then I'm probably going to leave this side. But on this side, so I did it, and I just used the excess pipe that was originally on the straight over there, because that straight did go like way out to there. So I cut that off whenever I was doing that side, and I just used the extra over here. And then flex yeah, the flex pipe down there at the V-band flange, as you can see, coming up, and then put the 45 on. And as I was doing all this, I realized I was going to be roughly like a quarter of an inch short, and instead of just squishing it together and making it work and then trying to use bolts to pull it up to the turbo, I just I had this little piece right here. It was like just a little scrap cut off piece from whenever I was cutting pipe. I guess I cut a pipe just a little bit too long. I had to cut off roughly a quarter of an inch. So I just used that, welded in there, cleaned it up and everything, and came out pretty decent. Those are actually probably some of my worst welds on all this. So got some of my best welds, got some of my worst welds, but overall it didn't turn out bad at all. So there's still a lot to do, but it's gonna get the turbo stuff pretty much almost wrapped up. Besides, I still gotta install wastegates. So I'm gonna do the wastegates on the bottom side of these elbows. So this one's gonna be under here, and then the wastegate's gonna come straight off, and then the pipe is gonna come up. I'm just gonna run it next to this and probably angle cut it and have it kind of facing out a little bit, or I might just angle it down. I'm not gonna tie it back into the exhaust. Same way on this side. I'm just gonna come out from right there where you can see it's all shiny at on the elbow. There was like a weld repair or something whenever I got there, or whenever I got this elbow from the start, there was like a weld repair in it. So perfect place to put a hole, because it's probably already weaker there. And then I'm just gonna run it up next to it. And then I also need to drill a hole on this side for an O2 sensor, which is fine with me. So I'll put an O2 sensor probably right down there on that straight, just so that way it'll be super close to the hole in the cab to run the wires through. So that way I can go inside to the Holley Terminator whenever I buy it. So that, and then once I finish the charge pipe, I still got to put the blow off valve on, which I already have. So the blow off valve I already have, the wastegates are on order, so all that shit should be coming in. And then I still have all the piping for the wastegates. The wastegates are 44 millimeter, which is 1 3/4 inch, I believe. So I got some 1 3/4 inch whenever I built the primary tubes for the fender well headers, and for whenever I built the exhaust on my motorcycle. I'm running 1 3/4 inch tubing on there. So other than that, that's pretty much all the update. And yeah, the grill does fit on. I've had the grill on and off several times. Just right now I'm just gonna leave it off because I'm gonna have to pull all this back out anyway, or I'm at least gonna have to pull the radiator back out whenever I pull the engine to put the cam kit in, the DOD delete, the variable valve timer delete, the push rods and lifters and valve springs, all that good stuff, and clean up the heads, and then re-gap the rings for turbo. And then I gotta put clutch, pressure plate, throwout bearing in, bleed the clutch. Still gotta get a drive shaft on order. I gotta get a different pressure regulator. I gotta get fuel injectors, spark plug wires, coils, whole bunch of stuff. So slowly coming, slowly but surely. And then this is what still need to get the truck wired too. As you can see, everything in here is trashed pretty much. But yeah, that's gonna be all for the video. So yeah, that's gonna be all. Next video I guess will be the next update on it, or maybe something on the motorcycle. But thanks for watching.